scream the loudest. It's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand. Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
And today we dissect into major stories that are dominating the headlines and, of course, sparking conversation across the nation. Rivers Speaker and 15 lawmakers defect to APC. We said it yesterday, okay, and it is already happening today. What more can I say? And of course, away from that particular one, Nnamdi Kanu seeks transfer from Sokoto prison to Abuja facility. Join the conversation with expert insights and seasoned perspective. Share your thoughts with us. I am Xavier Udon. Let's look into other news stories with details. Nigeria's opposition slams President Tinubu over alleged early campaign. The People's Democratic Party and Labour Party's presidential candidates, Peter Obi, have criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for distributing luxury vehicles to state coordinators of the Renewed Hope ambassadors, citing it as an example of early campaigning. The African Democratic Congress also condemned the move, describing it as a cynically insensitive action that makes nonsense of the emergency declaration itself. And away from that particular one, Muslim communities denies converting burnt church to mosques. The Mangu Concerned Muslim Consultative Forum in Plateau State has reported claims by Reverend Ezekiel Dachamo, regional chairman of the Church of Christ in Nations, that a burnt church in Mangu was converted to a mosque. The Muslim community described the allegation as baseless and inflammatory, demanding immediate proof or public retraction. In a statement, the forum's chairman and secretary, Sheikh Sulaiman Aruna, and Emil Lawa stated that there was no evidence to support the claim and accused Reverend Dachamo of attempting to incite hatred and undermine peace efforts. They demanded that Dachamo provide the official name of the purportedly converted church, its location, and the date of the alleged conversation or the conversion. All right, away from that particular one, of course, the reason why I'm not taking anything or I'm not even giving my submissions on all of the news stories because I want my guest analysts to actually pick any of the news stories to dissect before we go into the main topic today. All right, away from that particular one, NLC threatens the national mourning, protests over rising insecurity. The Nigerian Labour Congress has warned of a national day of mourning and nationwide protests over the worsening insecurity in the country. NLC President Joe Ajero stated the organization can no longer stand idle by as criminal gangs unleash terror across the nation, particularly citing the recent school kidnapping and withdrawal of security personnel before the attack. And away from that particular one, ADC slams Tinubu over, of course, same early campaign amid security emergencies. Of course, the party also criticized President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's re-election bid under guise of public mobilization. Despite the country worsening a security crisis, the party described the move as healed time and undermining integrity of security emergency, right, declared by the president. Peter Obi slams government over luxury vehicle distribution. This cannot be overemphasized because he has actually described this as insensitive, and he said, why are they, distributing luxury vehicles to themselves? He talked about Hilux trucks, Oma buses, as regards to, settling themselves. That's what he called it on his X handle. But the country is really going through a tough time now. And this was the same thing I mentioned when I talked about the Senate president, which I would want my guest analysts to pick up from there as regards to what this administration is doing when it comes to the political climes, the political, terrain of the nation. They are not even acting as if insecurity is ravaging the land. And it's a thing that we really have to talk about. Gombe magistrates are arraigned for alleged bribery and extortion. A magistrate at the magistrate at a court in Gombe, I beg your pardon, Muhammad Sulaiman Kumo, has been arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over alleged bribery and extortion. Kumo was brought before Justice H.H. Kereng of the Gombe High Court on Wednesday, December 3rd, 2025, on a 3-count charge filed by the EFCC Gombe Zonal Directorate. The EFCC alleged that Kumo received monetary benefits totaling 1.4 million through Zenith Bank, a particular bank account, of course, belonging to Adamu Ahmed, a registrar in his court. The alleged bribe was received in 2 installments, 1 million and of course 400,000. I talked about this particular thing on the show, as regards to the judicial system. Every, sector in Nigeria needs total overhauling, and they have to be accountable to someone. And this is the reason why some people, or the vulnerables, the very low Nigeria, as we may call it, or the poorest of the poor, does not even know their faith when it comes to the judicial system anymore. They don't even know if they can actually get fair justice. Of course, because some of the cases have been bought over, and some judges, allegedly are actually, being part of this wrong system. But to join the conversation, kindly call the number 09044732605. Follow us on social media at VOPTV Live. You can use the hashtag People's Voice on VOPTV. On YouTube, we're Voice of the People TV. Kindly hit the subscribe button, and together we can make our voices heard. It is time for us to go on a quick break. As soon as we return, we'll be taking the first conversation. River Speaker and 15 lawmakers defect to APC. You don't go nowhere, stay tuned, please. I'll be right back.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Welcome back to the program. It is still People's Voice on VOP television. Martins Emewule, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, House of Assembly, River State, has defected to the All Progressive Congress (APC) along with 15 other lawmakers. This particular incident happened, today, and of course, we've actually talked about it already in the news, but we have to dissect this one now. The defection was announced during a plenary session at the Assembly in Port Harcourt. The lawmakers cited deepening internal crisis and division within the People's Democratic Party as reasons for their departure. Emewule stated that they could no longer remain in a party where unresolved conflict made effective representation difficult. Right? I love that particular one there. And of course, the defected lawmakers, 16 lawmakers who defected to APC, Martin Emewule, who happens to be the Speaker, Dumle Mao, Deputy Speaker, Major Jack, Linda Stewart, Azero Opara, Smart Adoki, Franklin Nwabochi, Eneme George, Solomon Wami, Igwe Afoji, Tekina Wellington Lolo Aponde, Peter Abe, Ano Dennis Chimeze Nwankwo, Ofix Kabang. This defection is expected to intensify political tension in the state, which has been struggling with factional disputes within the People's Democratic Party. We're now being joined by Dr. Kayode, social political technocrat, and of course, aviation safety expert. Good afternoon, Doctor.
Yes.
Hello, Doctor. Can you hear me? Good afternoon. Doctor, please unmute your mic. I can't hear you. Good afternoon. All right. While we await Dr. Kayode's audio there, we also have Comrade Eze Oko Splendor, 2023 Labour Party governorship candidate, Ebonyi State. Good afternoon, Comrade. Hello, Comrade. Can you hear me? All right, quick one. Let's go on a quick break. As soon as we return, we'll actually, take up this particular one. Don't go to my station, please.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
All right, welcome back to the program. Hello, Doctor. Are you there now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Doctor, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon. I can hear you.
I'm getting this feedback. I don't know if it's from your side. I'd like you to check. Comrade Oko Splendor, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me, Savior?
All right, Comrade, I can hear you loud and clear now. Good afternoon to you.
Good. Thank you.
All right, Comrade, welcome on board. Quickly, I'd like to start with you while we rectify Dr. Kayode's audio there. What are the implications of the defection on the Rivers State House of Assembly? Because you would agree with me that over the past few days, they've been sending, these different body languages to the governor. First, they talked about some schools, not being in good shape, and they were criticizing him, openly, instead to have just called his attention to that particular situation. And he even recalled some teachers back, and today this is happening. Of course, we did the predictions yesterday and Dr. Kayode, but today is already happening, and about 16 lawmakers from the House of Assembly, have actually defected. What are the implications of this defection on the Rivers State House of Assembly? And of course, how will this defection affect the APC's chances in the next election in Rivers State? I'd like to get your takes on this.
Okay, thank you, Xavier. Before I dive into the implication of the defection of the lawmakers into APC in Rivers State, permit me to lay foundation on the prefix you just mentioned why this program commenced. You talked about branding of vehicles by the president of the country and APC at large to the coordinators all over the country. I want to say that this is early campaign, and we all know that early campaign is a crime. It's against the law. We cannot focus on early campaign when the country is bleeding. We are talking about insecurity all over the country. The citizens are not safe to even ply on the roads. People are being kidnapped. People are being massacred. Churches are being burnt. Christians are being killed. We cannot be happy seeing all of these things happening in this country, and all we can see APC doing is embarking on early campaign. For me, those buses that were distributed along coordinators or among the coordinators of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, among the other early campaigns we have seen, like the placing of the billboards, from along the Abuja airport route, all these things are not necessary. I call on APC government, led by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to focus on tackling the insecurity bedeviling this country, rather than going into early campaign. Away from that, Xavier, I want to quickly talk on the issue of defection of the members, the State Assembly members in Rivers State. I want to say that this is the issue that the Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike, has ignited, all this while. And that is why you see that there has been back and front in this situation. You can recall that there was a time when the governor of Rivers State, Simla Efubara, and the minister of FCT had a face-off as regards who controls the structure of the political structure in Rivers State. These same members of State House of Assembly, led by Martins Emewele, defected to APC, and the moment they did that, there was a litigation, that came up immediately to say that since they have defected to APC, they should relinquish their positions or vacate their seats, in the State House of Assembly. They quickly claimed that they never defected, that they are still a member of PDP, and this still lingered for a very long time. Now they have defected again. For me, I call it second defection, because they had already defected before. So this is second defection. And for me, these are the reasons surrounding the issue of suspension, expulsion, and just recently we saw expulsion letter that the PDP leadership issued to the Minister of FCT and others, that they have been expelled from the party. I want to say that if you are in a particular political party, you should do yourself a very big favor to remain in that party. All this issue of decamping, cross-carpeting, the thing does not make sense to me. And to a very large extent, it doesn't speak well to the fragile democracy we have in this country. So I want to say that those who defected in APC to those who defected from PDP to APC, they are not even doing good to the state. You can imagine, since the inception of this administration, it has been crisis from one issue to the other issue, from one issue to the other issue. They don't even allow the governor to concentrate. How then can the governor deliver the desired democratic dividends to the people when every time what comes on board is crisis, distraction in River State? They should call a spade a spade. They should stop distracting the administration there. Let the young man focus in governance. Up to now, the government led by Similare Fubara has not been able to present the commissioners before the House up to this moment. And this is not far from the issue that is at hand, crisis. And I want to say that it does not take good about the state. Now they have defected to APC for the second time. I wonder if another suit is instigated, whether they will not come back to say no, that they are still in PDP. This is for me, this is not a welcome development for River State. It has never been like this, and that you call a stop to it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Comrade Ezeoku Splendor, for that wonderful submission. Quickly, before I allow Dr. Kayode, take up his beat, I'd like to quickly call for a break. As soon as we return, Doctor, it will be over to you. Don't go nowhere, stay tuned, please. Be right back.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I, from social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more, tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
All right, welcome back to the program at the People's Voice on VOP TV. Dr. Kayode, are you there now?
Yes, I'm there with you.
All right.
I'm right now.
Thank you so much for joining the program today. Okay, and
My pleasure.
yes, thank you, Comrade Oko Splendor, for being on standby as well. So, Doctor, I'd like you to give me your reaction as regards to this situation of Rivers State. But of course, you heard all of the news stories I took, in case you'd like to also react to any of them before talking about that of Rivers State situation.
Yeah, it's not about the early campaign. Who are we going to report to? What institution are we going to report to? Is it INEC? INEC will not talk because the chairman knows that immediately he leaves the office, he might be made
an ambassador,
an ambassador or a minister, or So there is nobody you will report to, other than for the people to take the bull by the horn themselves and ensure that the regulations, electoral regulations, guidelines are being followed. And who are the people to lead such? People like Ajero. Because I heard Ajero talking in one of your news and all that. Is Ajero supposed to be quiet at this moment in Nigeria's history? Look at the series of apostasy that is happening in our political and socio-economic environment. What is Labour doing, for goodness sake? What is our CLO doing, for goodness sake? What are our civil society organizations doing, for goodness sake? Where have they gone to? Have they also gone? It's a question. Have they also been given HELOCs and the other vehicle? Have they been given? So it's an issue that they need to look at, or else Nigerians are tired. And I always say it. The moment.
Hello, Doctor, are you there? Okay. Doctor, please unmute your mic. I'm told your mic is muted.
Somebody muted you from that end.
Okay,
are you with me now?
Please go ahead.
Yes. So, except the civil society organization, Labour Congress, and all that, they have received their own vehicles, their HELOCs vehicles, and all that. But probably, yeah, they won't talk. Anyway, let's leave that for another day. Let's move back to Rivers State. I really appreciate what my brother Eze said, that this is a second defection. Yes, second defection. But even at that, if anything should happen now, which judiciary will you take it to? I will say the judiciary are not aware of what happened at the first defection. They are aware. It's not that they are not aware. But they always hide under that concept of technicalities. Or they will hide under that concept of, you don't have enough proof. Having said that, I will tell you today that what we are seeing in Rivers State is a seasoned film, just like as we said yesterday, and then it happening today. We have not seen the end of it. Because without Fubara having one kind of arrangement with Wike and the president vis-a-vis APC, Fubara wouldn't have been returned. Fubara wouldn't have been returned. Because we had Wike saying it boisterously that without Fubara subjecting himself to some conditions, there is no way he's going to get back to that seat. And we are all aware when they went for the last meeting in Aso Rock. So what happened there? Why am I saying this? When you look at that defection, only 16 defected. Unlike before, when we had 26, and then 2 refused. So the issue now is, we still have another 12 that are yet to defect to APC. Now, my own question is, what are they waiting for? Are there some games that they are still going to play within PDP before moving to APC? Number three, Fubara himself, when is he going to defect? When is he going to defect? And to what extent is the seeming peace in Rivers State going to last? When is he going to, how long will it going to last? Then the people of Rivers State who had given those defectors mandates, now that they are leaving them behind, are they going to collect back their mandate from them? The people of Rivers State, the PDP members of Rivers State that voted those people into power to represent them as PDP, are they going to collect back their mandate from them? What does the Constitution say? What does the Constitution say as regards that? Because if they are saying that there is a protracted problem in the leadership of PDP, that is why they are resigning from PDP to APC, what has INEC said regarding the leadership of PDP? What has INEC said? So are we not saying that what they are doing has to do with the drum that Wike is beating to them, and that's what they are dancing to? However, like I said, I'm waiting for the people of Rivers State to see whether they want to collect back their mandate from those people or not. And if they want to collect it back from them, I also want to see what the judiciary will say. Thank you.
Okay, so, Doctor, that was the wonderful one there. But, you talked about the remaining PDP lawmakers. I think I would, to be precise, it's remaining just 10, not 11, remaining 10. And when we talk about their constituency, Wike's constituency, which happens to be Ikwere, and the Honorable Lemchi, if I'm correct, yes, Honorable Lemchi is the person representing Wike's constituency, has not also defected. It's still part of people, it's still part of the PDP members that are still there, still there and not moved yet. But, in as much as you're actually saying that when will Fubara defect and all of that, don't you think that they might actually have, good reasons? Because, of course, it is in the Electoral Act, and, of course, it's part of the reasons why so many governors also defected as regards to the party, having internal crisis, and the crisis getting, even worse, and nothing is happening as regards to, everyone shedding their sword to make peace. So just like what Comrade Ezeoko said, that they defected initially, and when they said they were meant to, relinquish their position, they said, oh, they didn't leave at all. If you are asking lawmakers, be it House of Reps or assemblies, to always leave their position when they defect, what happens to governors? Why don't you also allow governors to defect.
You see, on that note, it's not that I'm saying there is peace in PDP. No.
Okay.
They have national leadership problem. But I was coming from the background of what has been happening within that same River State House of Assembly. The River State House of Assembly. Already they have defected. Before now, why are they not standing on that earlier defection? That is one. Two, bearing in mind that there is problem in PDP leadership in Abuja, and part of the house has defected. What is Subara 2 waiting for? we just had Adeleke of Osun State 2 days back writing a letter, although the letter was backdated to November 4 and he submitted probably on the 2nd.
Doctor, you also saw that. You saw that the letter was backdated. And it was quite strange to me, you know, taking that news.
Too.
It was strange to me. I mean, while it backdated to November. But you submitted a letter on the 2nd of December. I was totally surprised about it.
I am saying it's it's also strange to me. I mean, that's to tell you the kind of integrity and sincerity that our leaders possess. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Now what I'm now saying is, whatever we might be seeing in River State is nothing other than a script that is being played out. A script has been written before returning Fubara back there as the governor. Because Fubara did not show his how do I put it now, his energy, his executive energy, the power that is holding, the instrumentalities of power. He was not holding it. He doesn't know how to use it. And that's why it could be removed from office anyhow and then returned anyhow. And like him, there is no way I can trust him again with the use of instrumentalities of power. All I'm doing now is counting the days of when he will port to APC. Fubara is not going to port to anywhere other than APC.
You don't even think he might come to your party, your ADC, yes?
He can't come to ADC. If he should come to ADC, they have already set up an albatross for him. Immediately, the members of the house will impeach him.
Okay.
Immediately.
Let's go back to.
Look at the local government. They remove him before they now decide to do local government election. Who owns the structure of the local government officials? So tell me, what does he have? He's a naked governor.
Okay.
Bara is a naked governor.
But of course, it's still wearing clothes, so ironically. All right, thank you.
Okay, politically naked.
I think that's fair. All right, thank you so much, Doctor, for that wonderful submission. Let me go back to Comrade Ezeoku Splendor. Hello, Comrade, are you there?
Yes, I'm here with you, Xavier.
All right, so Comrade, how does this defection reflect on the current state of politics in River State? And I would like you to take this simultaneously. Will the defection lead to a shift in policy priorities in the state?
Okay, thank you so much. I must say emphatically that I hate this issue of defection. In my state, Ebonyi State, it is no longer a news that I sued the lawmaker that defected from my party to APC. I sued just, I think, 2 days back. I said, you were elected under the platform of Labour Party. We gave you all the support. We campaigned for you, and you won election. You stopped identifying with the party the moment you were sworn in, only for you to claim that you have defected to APC. I said, no, if you are defecting to APC, you must drop our mandate. That mandate we gave to you, we gave it to you under the logo of Labour Party. We didn't vote for you because you were in APC. So if you are leaving for APC, drop our mandate. I just went to court 2 days ago. Very soon he will be served. So I am saying that defection does not build the type of democracy we expect in this country. Where in America have you seen this manner of defection? Where in developed worlds have you seen this manner of defection? Like you asked, you said, is it going to help to develop the state? It is not definitely going to help to develop the state. It's going to mar the state.
But you know, comrade, some,
yes,
so many, you know, including governors, you know, lawmakers, but of course, especially governors. So many governors defected, and they said that they love, you know, the implementation of the president, you know, and they love the fact that defecting would make the president do more of federal, you know, projects in their state. And they love the style of the president, and including that of APC. So many of them have been saying that they are defecting because they have internal issue, and moving to this particular party aligns with their own mission, vision, and all of that. Do you understand? So why do you think that their defection would not help the state?
No. Savior, please. I like being very emphatic when I'm talking to Nigerians on a national television like this.
Okay.
This defection you are seeing is induced defection. It's induced. And let me also tell you that when I condemn defection, I don't center it on National Assembly members alone. I called it defection. Any kind of defection, be it defection from the governor, be it defection from the president, that Mr. President defected.
Okay, hello, sorry, comrade, I'd like you to hold your thoughts. We have a caller here. Hello?
Okay.
All right, so I think that was a drop call.
Yes, Savior, I asked a question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, comrade, go ahead.
I asked a simple question. Have you ever heard that a president of Nigeria defected from one party to the other?
While in power?
While in power.
We're yet to hear that.
After leaving power. After leaving power,
it is easy.
I'm talking about while in power. While in power. Have you ever heard
not
that
yet.
the president defected?
Not yet. Maybe when you become the president, you might actually start with you.
No. I hate defection. The reason why I ask this question is this. Governors, they receive allocation from the presidency, the House of National Assemblies. They also receive their payment from the presidency. So all these people defecting, like I said, there must be a kind of inducement. Some of them are claiming that if we join Mr. President in his party, one, our ticket for second tenure will be protected. Our allowances will be improved, then, and all sort of that. But if there is check and balances, assuming that law that says if you defect, you lose your seat. If it were in implementation, if we are implementing it, it will checkmate this unnecessary.
Who do you blame?
So right now, I want to say that both INEC and the people defecting, the judiciary, all of them should sit up. If this country must go ahead, all of them should sit up and begin this a kind of defection that we are seeing in this country is something that will definitely mar the system if it continues like this. And I want to say that the law should not be a respecter of anybody.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a respecter of anybody. If a governor defects to another party, let the governor lose his or her seat. If a State House of Assembly member defects, let him lose his or her seat. The same thing applicable to National Assembly members, including elected local government chairmen. we should begin to behave like a serious country. If America looks into what is happening with defection in the country, they will have no option to say that we are a disgraced nation.
Okay.
And some of us are not happy when we hear, another country with their own power stating that our country is a disgraced nation. This is the reason why. Of course, I want to say, Xavier, that when the Senate was screening the Minister of Defense, I saw a drama there. For the first time in my life, I have never seen Senate President Akpabio being as serious as he was, as at that moment.
No, but of course, he mentioned the reason. He said because Trump was watching. So that was the only reason. So if Trump was not watching, he wouldn't have.
No, he said something. He said there was a drama, and in the midst of that drama, a senator said, "Please take a bow."
Yes, that's what I'm repeating.
And you know that in this country, let me not say in this country, in this administration, it has always been take a bow and leave.
Rubber stamp, yes.
Yes, it has always been take a bow and leave. And when that particular behavior came on board, please take a bow and leave, you saw that there was a little commotion in the House. And then the Senate President stood up immediately and said, please, the country is bleeding. Our children are being kidnapped, and America is on our neck. Donald Trump is on our neck. So the question is, if Donald Trump was not on their neck, they will continue to say, take a bow and leave, even when we are being killed.
That's just a summary of that particular statement that Godswill Akpabio said there.
That is horrible. It's horrible. And I'm saying now, so why are other people claiming that Nigerians are not being killed? There is no genocide in Nigeria. Even when the Senate President acknowledged in the House that our people are being kidnapped, our people are being killed, and President Donald Trump is on our neck. That language is very deep. So we in Nigeria, we should be thanking Donald Trump instead of thanking our president. Do we really have one now? Instead of the Senate President to begin to say, the President of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is on our neck. He is saying that Donald Trump is on their neck. Check out the distance from Nigeria to USA.
At least 16 hours.
very unfortunate.
All right, thank you so much, Comrade Eze Okosplendor, for that wonderful submission. Of course, it was part of the things that we talked about yesterday, and I reiterated here. When you leave your own president to call Donald Trump, it shows that you don't have a president, or you do not recognize the position of the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, because you should be more concerned about him. You should be more bothered and worried about what he has said or what he has actually mentioned as regards to, the insecurity in the nation, and of course, telling the legislators to actually do what is right for the people. But you went ahead to mention Donald Trump, to talk about how Donald Trump is watching, so you have to do things in the right manner. So when it's not about insecurity, when it's about political, the next person that is coming would actually take a bow and go, because Donald Trump is not interested in that particular conversation. This was the only conversation that Trump was interested in, and that was the reason why they had to, for the very first time in a long while, we saw a screening last for 5 hours, for the very first time. Until now, I'm still surprised about it. Okay, so Dr. Kayode, we need to round off the show now. We're pressed for time. But I'd like you to just give me your final take as regards to the conversation so we can actually round up.
I will give you one proverb in Yoruba that we interpret. That is, when an elder is eating roasted yam in front of a child, that child will be looking right inside the elder's nose. That is no more respect. That is exactly what is happening between Tinubu and Akpabio on that. So let's leave it.
Okay.
Number two. Sorry, I'm not shaking any table. Number two, as regards Rivers,
Yeah.
I have said it. It is a written paper
Okay.
that is playing out. That is playing out. But then, let me also quickly this afternoon throw you one stone to keep. To keep. Because you will refer to it later. Remember what has just happened in Guinea-Bissau? The coup that happened in Guinea-Bissau. I looked at it. I said there was an alibi, and that alibi have been confirmed. That is the relationship between the ousted president and the military that actually took over. The relationship between them had been exposed, and that my thoughts have been confirmed. Let us be careful as regards that come 2027, because I will say it again. The hasty resignation of the minister of
the former minister of defense.
Yes, former minister of defense is questionable. We need to look at it properly. Something is fishy there. I hope it is not a game towards 2027. Keep it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Kayode. Thank you so much, Dr. Kayode, for joining the program. And of course, Comrade Zoko Splendor, thank you so much for being part of the show. This is how far we can actually go on the show this wonderful evening. The views and opinion expressed by our analysts, don't forget they are solely theirs and do not reflect that of VOP Media. If you love the world of sport, I'd like you to stay put to enjoy yourself through the locker room. All right, I don't give up because it is not over. Tough time doesn't last, but tough people do last. Whatsoever you face will soon be over, and you will definitely smile again. My name remains Xavier Udo. Have a good evening rest.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
2564 is coming up on Barney 9, right?
The 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, it isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel